Live from the Dr. Jerry Henderson Radio Complex, it's time for Card Guys. And now, here's your host, Anthony Schulte.
Good morning or good afternoon, whenever you may be listening to this program. Thank you, Michael, for the intro as always. And welcome to Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk, Season 2, Episode 18. Coming up today, we update you on the latest in Detroit sports. The big dance is here. The rounds of 64 and 32 have commenced, and we discuss. Is there a Cinderella? Does the shoe fit? Find out next on Card Guys. Before we get started, we have some new digs, don't we, gentlemen?
Absolutely, we do.
So we have moved stations from 91.5 The Mountain to 101.1 The Beat, and here we are. Brand new studio. We got a brand new little setup here, and this will be where we are for the remainder of this season and next season as well. I'm Anthony Schulte, and joining me as always, Ryan Donnelly.
You know, we got new digs, new mics, new studio, new setup. The only thing that hasn't changed, it's still 8 in the morning.
It is still 8 in the morning.
I'm very tired.
Yep. It was a long night. A lot of basketball over the week, and we'll get to it. Right next to me, Mr. Michael Rosenkranz.
Great to be here in the new studio today for the show. It's going to be a lot of fun today. Can't wait to take y'all through the new setup with us.
Oh, it's going to be great. So starting us off today, let's get through some Detroit sports updates, because as much as the big dance is here, the teams still play on. The Detroit sports teams still play on. So the Pistons, they dropped 6 straight last night to the New Orleans Pelicans. And the first quarter was rather suboptimal, to say the least. 10 points in the first quarter. If you eliminate the first quarter from the game, the Detroit Pistons are victorious. But we have to include a 20-point deficit after the first quarter, 19 to be exact. It was 29-10 at the end of that first quarter. And I mean, you don't have Cade Cunningham, you don't have Jalen Duren, you don't have Simone Fontecchio, you don't have Asar Thompson, you don't have Isaiah Stewart, you don't have Quentin Grimes, and you don't have Taj Gibson. That was the injury report. The Pistons have not been healthy for 100% healthy for the entire season, I believe. Just trying to limp to the end of the season at this point if you're the Pistons. And not much to talk about regarding the Pistons. There's, as you see, the grim faces on our cast here, because the Pistons are a depressing place right now. They played tonight back-to-back action against the Knickerbockers of New York in Madison Square Garden. The Pistons only have 2 more home games to close out the season here, and you got 1 game against the Wizards coming up.
And the Spurs.
You got the Wizards and the Spurs. Can we make it a 14-win season?
No. I genuinely don't think so. Normally, I joke around when it comes to Pistons where it normally is offense is optional or defense is optional. Yesterday, basketball was optional. I didn't watch, thank goodness, but it was sad. Very sad. 10 points in the first quarter, shooting 21% from field. That's sad.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna win another game. I genuinely don't. Well, we're not gonna be healthy. You know, Asar's out for the rest of the year. Grimes is out, who I forgot was a Piston, because he has played 2, 3, or 4 games.
Yeah, and he hasn't been that great in the games played.
You know, he's out for the rest of the year. Isaiah Stewart's out for the rest of the year. Cade's on and off. Taj Gibson's probably never going to play a game for the rest of the year. I don't think we're going to win. I think the Wizards are going to... We have 2 winnable games, which is the Wizards and the Spurs, like Anthony mentioned. I think the Wizards is winnable. Do I think we're going to pull it off because we're so injury-prone? No. And the Spurs, they killed us last time with Victor Wembanyama having his first ever triple-double against us. No. We're not. We're going to go on a very bad losing skid for the rest of the year. There's no way we're going to win a game.
Yeah, 10 points in the first quarter is inexcusable. Even on an injury-prone team, for an NBA basketball team, it's absolutely inexcusable. When I look at this rest of the schedule, you have the Knicks tonight, You have the Timberwolves Wednesday.
Oh, we got the Grizzlies.
yippee.
The Grizzlies
Wizards
are
Friday.
The Grizzlies are in the same level
Oh,
as us.
the Grizzlies is a winnable game. Definitely a winnable game against the Grizzlies, even though we got killed against them earlier this year.
They don't got Ja Morant.
Yeah, you'd have the Grizzlies twice in the same week once you get back from gentle break for us on campus. It's
Yes.
gentle break coming up this week. So once we return on the airwaves Monday, April 1st, we had the Grizzlies twice this week, on Monday and Friday.
We do?
Yes.
Next week, he's
And that is...
We play them 3 times this year?
yes, because they gave us that extra game against them because of the in-season tournament.
Oh.
Yes.
The first game on the Grizzlies on Monday is home.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next home game, the final home game, is April 11th against the Bulls. So, do I think the Pistons can win another game? I don't think so. Maybe against the Grizzlies. Maybe against the Wizards because they're so bad too. Maybe against the Spurs, but you got killed by Wembanyama the last time. And I think he's going to be out hunting again, especially at their place.
And at the final game of the season.
Exactly.
You want to go out with a bang. So the Pistons, they play tonight against the Knicks.
Unfortunately.
I will be watching. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm not looking forward to turning on the Pistons
Then
tonight
why watch?
because I still watch my basketball team, and Cade is likely playing because it's the second half of back-to-back, and he was out yesterday. So hopefully Cade plays tonight. The Red Wings, however, win a game we said they needed to. A must-win game against the Islanders, but follow that out with a shutout performance, a 1-0 loss to the Predators. It's hard to read this Red Wings team, isn't it?
It
Because
really is.
you beat the Islanders so single-handedly, right? And then you come in against the Predators, and all you need is one goal to get a point against the Predators, who have been red hot. You just need a single goal against the Predators. One point. One goal. And you don't get it. And it's like, how can a team that was so hot against the Islanders go so cold against the Predators when the game was right there? You score your goal average on the year and you win the game by 2. Instead, you get 0 points and you get shut out. It's hard to read this Red Wings team. That's my 2 cents on the Red Wings. It's hard to read them.
Taking a look at the wild card standings, the Red Wings are now out of the wild card.
Because the Capitals won yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not good.
We play them this week.
We do.
That's we play them tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Tonight.
I thought it was tonight, but
It could be
I think
tonight.
I think it's tomorrow.
I think
thought it was
I think I'm
Wednesday,
remembering the graphic saying yesterday saying tomorrow.
Yes, it's tomorrow at 7.
Oh, look at that! I guess I was right.
Taking a look at the wild card. Thank you, Michael. But we have the Capitals on tomorrow. That's going to be huge because
Now that is the game of the year. Now
that might be exactly because we're at 78 points. They're at 79 points. If we win, we'll have 80, which will be great. We're probably not gonna. If we make the playoffs, the best we can get is the 8th seed, the second wild card spot, because Tampa's at 85 points and are at a clear lead to make the wild card. Now it's just a dogfight between the Capitals, Red Wings, and Islanders, and you could make a case for the Devils and the Sabres. Then there's the other 4 teams, and our schedule does not get any easier. Taking a look ahead, we have the Capitals tomorrow. We got the Hurricanes on Thursday during gentle break. The Florida Panthers, the reigning Eastern Conference champions.
Oh, goodness.
The Lightning, who are first in the wild card. The Rangers, who are the top 6 in the East right now. The Sabres, who are trying to catch our tails. The Capitals, who are ahead of us in the wild card standings. The Penguins, which we thought was going to be
we play the Capitals. Sorry to interrupt you. We play the Capitals twice to close the year off.
Yep.
All right, big games. We got big games.
We got the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are not on our tails but beatable. We got the Maple Leafs, who are one of the best teams in hockey right now, and we got the Canadiens twice, who are a bottom feeder, and
we'll
are
find a
not
way to
great,
lose
But somehow we will split.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to this stretch. I'm stressed, to say the least. I'm not stressed about my classes, but I'm stressed about the Red Wings making the playoffs. Sorry, Mom. But I'm kidding. I'm stressed about my classes, but
Apparently for Ryan, sports take precedence over academics.
I agree. But
Can't say I blame you
I'm
there,
joking.
Ryan.
I'm obviously kidding.
I'm
I
just
care about
messing
my
with you.
academics, but I'm stressed. We don't have a winnable game. I think Lalonde needs to wake up and put Reimer in net because let's take a look at the Islanders win. James Reimer was 33 for 36 on a 917 save percentage. Gave up 3 goals. That was towards the end of the game. I will give him the benefit of the doubt. And guess who we start in net the next game against Nashville? Alex Lyon.
Who has been not too great recently.
Although, yes, he saved less shots, and he had an almost 970 save percentage. That doesn't really matter. Reimer's been playing really well lately, and I really want him in net more. And I don't know about our goaltending. I'm very scared. We haven't seen Husso in net, which has been great. We've seen just Lyon and Reimer sharing net. I want to see more Reimer so we can get more playing time. Probably be our longtime starter and have Lyon as our backup, like he has been his whole career. No shots on Lyon, but that's the truth. I don't know about this Red Wings team. I'm iffy. If I'm a Fatu Melifonwu on this, just iffy.
Well, a big player to watch for in this game is Ovechkin because he's been on a tear lately.
Yep.
I think, what has he had? I think in the last few games I know he had a couple goals yesterday in the Capitals win. I think I can't remember the exact number, but he's been chipping in quite a bit lately for the Capitals because, it's Alex Ovechkin. What else do you expect? You're gonna want to watch him. And a thing that I want to see from this Red Wings team...
He's been red hot. 2 goals against the Jets. This is going in order. 2 goals, 1 goal, 2 goals, 2 goals, 1 goal.
Yeah, he's been hot.
On fire.
He has been on
Hot
fire.
take. Ovechkin gets a hat trick tomorrow.
I
won't be
not be
surprised.
surprised.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised either. What you need to do for the Red Wings team, you need to bring that same defensive effort that you did against Nashville. I know you lost 1-0 because Philip Forsberg had a beautiful snipe in the top shelf that just beat Lyon. But you need to continue that strong defensive effort against Washington. And limit their shots, block their shots, make it hard for them. And I think if you do that, and if we can get some offense going with our lines, we could very well see this Red Wings team beat Washington. Again, I think this is a team that the Red Wings should beat, and we go with this keyword a lot, should beat. It's going to be tough on the road, especially now that the Capitals are in the hunt themselves in the wild card spot, so you're going to get more of crowd noise from Washington. So if you're the Red Wings, you got to dial in. Ryan, absolutely right. Derek Lalonde needs to wake up. He needs to figure it out. And he needs to put together a solid 60 minutes in order for the Red Wings to win and continue their hunt in the playoffs.
I'm not really confident in Lalonde. Like we mentioned in the last episode, just he looks like Gru. He acts and coaches like Gru from Despicable Me. I don't know the future. I know Stevie Y loves him. I don't, but I'm not Stevie Y. Stevie Y might have a better reason why he likes Derek
There's a reason
Lalonde.
why he's in the front office and we are doing a radio show.
Yep, that is true. I want him gone, along with Monty Williams, and I don't know. He doesn't have confidence in his own team. Like like we mentioned on the show on Wednesday about when asked about playoffs, he's like, "Well, we just gotta wait and see." I have faith in this team. I have faith in the players. We're gonna try our best. We just gotta wait. No, you gotta have faith. You have to have trust. Not, well, Still early, I guess. It's not early, it's March. You guys are historically known to have skids in March. That's why we're here. You gotta wake up, Derek Lalonde. Sorry.
No, you're good. The Red Wings, they play tomorrow night in Washington against the Capitals. 7 p.m. puck drop out there. Quickly before we hit the tournament, the Tigers have 20 wins in spring training.
We're back.
The Tigers have been raking as of late, just homer after homer, it seems like, in every single game. I get notifications whenever we hit a home run. My phone's been blowing up. Not from people, from Tigers home runs. 20-9-3 in spring training. Can't ask for much better than that. It's been a heck of a spring training. The boys have their final game tomorrow of spring training, and then Thursday, it's opening day. Make sure to join us Wednesday on Card Guys as we preview the Tiger season and have a little opening day special, 8 a.m. on 101.1 The Beat and 1 p.m. on YouTube. Make sure to join us for that. It'll be some fun Tigers coverage on Wednesday as finally we get this season underway. Moving on to the NCAA tournament. This has been the big kahuna in sports over the weekend. Just a crazy tournament. Let's start in the round of 64. I have some highlight games I'll start off with. Oakland beat Kentucky.
We're all local. Listen, we're all local of Oakland.
You called it.
I called it. However, I switched.
You switched in your bracket.
I said, give me Oakland. And then I was like,
you kept going down the rabbit hole of I can't sleep on Kentucky. Give me Kentucky.
Yep.
Give me Kentucky.
John Calipari, I don't like you.
They call him the Italian Doc Rivers.
I did see that tweet. I was dying of laughter for 10 minutes straight. But we're all local. We're all from the Clarkston, Lake Orion, Sterling Heights, Macomb County, Oakland County
Greater
area.
Metro Detroit.
Yes.
There you go.
Like, we're all from Metro Detroit. And I imagine, obviously, you and I were together when Oakland won. I imagine you were very excited when Oakland won.
Oh, I was going nuts.
You two are mostly closer to Oakland. I'm 30 minutes away from Oakland.
I live about 10 minutes away from campus.
Oakland is in Auburn Hills, Michigan.
Rochester.
It is.
Line of Rochester and Auburn Hills. It's kind of both.
I've been to Oakland once. But
I've been there a couple times.
like I went there once to walk around because I was bored. And Oakland's a very beautiful campus, but it's small.
Very small. Very small.
That's why, like, when Oakland beat Kentucky, I was so excited. I was like, local team, local Michigan team. It's a feel-good moment.
I have a good story.
Yes, go ahead.
Oakland. Greg Campy, back when he was hired, around the time he was hired, he saw the name of Oakland, and he was like, there's a city with a lot of popular teams called Oakland. He put in a proposal to change the College of Oakland University to Southern Michigan. And there's not a Southern Michigan, at least to my knowledge, or a popular one at that. So he wanted to change it to Southern Michigan so they'd have their own identity and brand. So something like what happened this past weekend doesn't happen, where people think that Oakland is from the city of Oakland in California. Not because people are like, they don't know that it's Rochester, Michigan that houses Oakland. They think it's Oakland, California.
I was going to mention, there was a tweet that I saw the other day. It was like, John Fisher it was around the lines of like John Fisher seeing Oakland win in the tournament, wants them to stay in Oakland.
Yep. Because now he sees all the popularity around the name Oakland. But Oakland defeats Kentucky. Yale defeated Auburn, which I had Auburn going pretty deep. Duquesne, DeQuesne, over here on Card Guys, Duquesne defeats BYU. Oregon defeated South Carolina, the Red Hot South Carolina. Grand Canyon defeating St. Mary's. I had St. Mary's going deep.
Grand Canyon. Hey, Isaac got his Grand Canyon pick, bro.
Well, we'll get to Isaac's bracket because we have to mention that because when you talk about speeding down the highway, going good, feeling good, wind in your hair, and then all of a sudden there's a tree in your way. That was Isaac's bracket. But James Madison, the upset we all predicted, beat Wisconsin. Speaking of that wreck of a bracket that Isaac has right now, he picked all the upsets, right? It worked in the round of 64. And then all the upsets that he picked to move past the round of 32, lost. So he picked the winners to get to the games, but when they got to the round of 32 games, they all lost. So it's kind of funny how you see, like in a bracket challenge or tournament, it's funny to see how you can have a really good round of 64, be at the top of the standings, and all of a sudden he's in the basement with me after the round of 32. Let's go over these bracket standings, shall we? Because
I already have it pulled up.
Tournament challenge.
All right, I have it pulled up already.
Go ahead.
In first place, drum roll, please.
We don't have a lot of desk space anymore.
Yeah, we don't have enough space to drum roll. We'll find a drop for that someday. But to my surprise, Tyler is in first, even though his champion is out. He had Auburn winning. They lost. They got upset by Yale. I'm second place with 60 points. Well, I should name the points. So Tyler is in first with 67.3%.
He has 430 points.
And 430 points. I am in second place with 420 points. So I could catch up and win. Yes. Mr. Michael Rosenkranz, third place with 390 points. Fourth place, our good friend Doug Mobley. Hi, Doug. I don't know how many points.
330.
He has 330 points. Also tied with 330 points is Isaac. And then in the basements with 320 points, Michael Benajay approves, Anthony Schulte.
See, I'm in the basement because all my upsets didn't win, and all the upsets that I didn't pick won. And that's the fun thing about making a bracket of March Madness is you can look at all the analytics like we did. You can watch a lot of college basketball like we did, and your bracket can still absolutely tank. I don't think I've seen this many upsets, or at least this many close games between a high seed and a low seed ever. And I am actually, if we're looking at the max points still available, I am in fourth place with 1,400 max points available. Isaac's champion Baylor, they lost. We'll get to that in our round of 32 coverage. So, round of 64, there were a lot of good games. We just talked about Oakland. Jack Golke. Dog. Jack Golke with a historic weekend out in Pittsburgh. The reason Oakland won, Jack Golke. The reason Oakland lost, Jack Golke. Mm-hmm. It's a tale of two Golkes. He was incredible against Kentucky. Kind of struggled against NC State. However, still had a pretty decent game, all things considered. Jack Golke is the man of March right now. I don't think anybody's really taken over for him yet. He kind of won America's hearts. We thought it would be Trey Townsend. Shout out Trey Townsend. Dog. He had a heck of a performance.
He did.
Against NC State.
And nobody talked about it. He had 30 points, 13 rebounds, an assist, and a steal, and one turnover.
Okay, should I just go through the entire round of 64 bracket? We'll pick out our favorites.
Sure.
All right, let me speed run this. UConn beat Stetson 91-52. FAU beat Northwestern beat FAU 77-65. San Diego State beat UAB 69-65. Yale beat Auburn 78-76. Duquesne beat BYU 71-67. Illinois beat Morehead State 85-69. Washington State beat Drake 66-61. Iowa State beat South Dakota State 82-65. North Carolina beat Wagner 90-62. Michigan State beat Mississippi State 69-51. Grand Canyon beat St. Mary's 75-66. Alabama beat Charleston 109-96. Clemson beat New Mexico 77-56. Baylor beat Colgate Toothpaste 92-67. Dayton beat Nevada 63-60. Arizona beat Long Beach State 85-65. Houston beat Longwood 86-46. Texas A&M beat Nebraska 98-83. James Madison beat Wisconsin 72-61. Duke beat Vermont 64-47. NC State beat Texas Tech 80-67. Oakland beat Kentucky 80-76. Colorado beat Florida in a thriller 102-100. Marquette beat Western Kentucky 87-69. Purdue beat Grambling 78-50. Utah State beat TCU 88-72. Gonzaga beat McNeese 86-65. Kansas beat Samford 93-89. Oregon beat South Carolina 87-73. Creighton beat Akron 77-60. Texas beat Colorado State 56-44. And Tennessee beat St. Peter's 83-49.
I think you pulled your inner Micro Machines man there from the 80s there, Anthony. Just full-on John Moshida Jr. just talking, just keep on going and going and going.
I don't know how I did that.
This guy's the new Micro Machines man,
I pulled
guys.
out my inner Troydan.
Yeah.
He's going through
Gotta
the
go
passes
fast.
on 2K.
Hey, Grandpa told you to go fast.
Grandpa told me to go fast, and I went fast. So those were all the games. A lot of games. 32 games to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
Or is my math wrong?
32.
32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1.
Okay, good. What are our favorite games? We already went through Oakland. What are some of our other favorite games here from the round of 64?
Well, obviously, my favorite game of the tournament was Oakland.
Yeah.
Because local team won. Jack Golke, dog.
Dog.
Trey Townsend, dog.
Dog.
Greg Campy, dog. No, underappreciated. One of my favorite interviews of the year was with Golke and Campy, where he saw a lot of Twitter trolls of like Golke's going to go into real estate and they're just singing the State Farm theme song. I was dying. Campy, dog. Another one of my favorite games. This might be this was one of my upsets. Duquesne and BYU.
You did pick Duquesne.
A very fun game, to say the least. My favorite game so far of the round of 30, or my favorite game of the round of 64 was Yale. Yale and Auburn. That was a very, very, very fun game, although my pick was Auburn. They lost. I had Drake, the basketball team, not the rapper. I don't like you. Washington State won. That was a very fun game to watch as well.
Yes.
Michigan State, I don't want to say feel good, but it made my bracket feel good at first. And then after they won and I saw Oakland won, I was like, okay, Michigan State, bye-bye.
Frauds.
I'm not watching you anymore. Like I was rooting for them to win. That was the only time I will ever root for Michigan State.
The way the students were coping by saying they're a hockey school, so they're a hockey school.
Yep, and a gymnastics school.
Yes.
They did win the Big Ten gymnastics. Great job, gymnastics!
And they won
you okay?
They won
gymnastics!
And they won the Big Ten hockey tournament.
Oh, guess who they upset? Michigan! Oh, by the way,
I watched the tail end of that game.
By the way,
one of my buddies would.
Welcome, Dusty May. I love the hire.
Great hire.
I'm sorry that I'm getting sidetracked.
No, you're good.
But Dusty May took FAU to the Final Four last year. I love the hire. It's not a legacy hire like Jimmy King or Ray Jackson, but I like it. He was up there on my coaching list, and welcome, Dusty May. Got to get a Michigan segment in there. Sorry that I'm going insane, but
he's a Michigan fan trying to cope.
I'm trying to cope. We're not doing great. This is a rebuilding year for both football and basketball. Anyways, I'm upset that St. Mary's lost. It was a good game.
That was tough.
Should have listened to Isaac on that one. I know a lot of people had the upset with the New Mexico game. I obviously didn't. I'm upset about Clemson winning in the not Sweet 16, the round of 32.
Really?
I had them going to my Final Four. Now I have 3 Final Four teams left.
So do I.
UConn, Tennessee, and Houston.
I had Baylor in my Final Four.
Same. And I should have picked UNC because they're rolling in this tournament.
Yeah, UNC is playing a good brand of basketball right now.
You know what team is rolling right now that I did not expect to roll? Purdue. Unfortunately, when you pick Purdue to win in the tournament, they lose. And when you have Purdue to lose in the tournament, they win. A good point by our friend Isaac Haffenden.
Yep. Who will be on the show Wednesday, so look forward to that.
They beat Utah State by 40.
They didn't beat Utah State.
They dismantled them.
They took Utah State and played jump rope with them.
They won by almost 40 points.
Yep, that was in the round of 32.
I had Utah State go to my Elite Eight.
Same.
Another team that I'm very upset about is McNeese. I had them going to
Samford.
And Samford. I had McNeese go to my Sweet 16. They got dismantled by a lot, by 21. Can you do something for me? I'm upset on how my bracket's looking. At first, it was perfect. It was perfect. Until Nevada happened, and then
the wheels fell off.
The wheels fell off, and my bracket is now gone.
My Midwest region is pretty much gone at this point. I scroll down and look at the Midwest region and look at all these red X's of all the ones that I got wrong.
Yep.
And it's not really that satisfying in my mind. One of my favorite games had to be Florida-Colorado, just because of how close it was. And I picked Florida for that game.
Yeah, I picked Florida going to
go
play
over Colorado.
Kentucky. That obviously is not going to happen.
Yeah, then the game below that, they would have played the winner of Marquette, Western Kentucky. Obviously, Marquette won that one. And then Marquette gets the win over Colorado, only by 4. So now Marquette's going to be playing NC State in the Sweet 16.
Yes.
I like the Michigan State game. Tom Izzo's finding... I like the Michigan State game because in that first game, Tom Izzo seemed to be finding his rhythm in March, like he usually does. But then the wheels fell off. The wheels fell off the wagon.
I mean, they were hooping
in the round of 32 against
in the first 8 minutes.
Yeah,
they were playing really good basketball. And then North Carolina was like, all right, they you know that meme of when you're playing video games, you're laying back, and then you lean in. You're like, all right, I'm losing. I gotta focus up here. I gotta stop relaxing. And that's how North Carolina played.
Yeah, they went to work and they got rid of Michigan State. No problem. They beat them by, if I can do math, 16, 85-69.
Any other favorite games from the round of 64?
From the round of 64, Auburn-Yale was a classic, for sure. I really like San Diego State and UAB. They kept it really, really close.
A game that's, I believe, has been underlooked this year was the UAB game.
Yeah. UAB played a really good brand of basketball.
They really, really did. They have a lot to be proud of, and I think they have a lot to build on for next year, especially since they made it back to the tournament again this year. And they played this close of a game with a team that made it to the national championship last year.
Indeed. All right, so that's the round of 64. Let's do it again for the round of 32, shall we?
Sure.
All right. UConn beat Northwestern 75-58. San Diego State beat Yale 85-57. Illinois beat Duquesne 89-63. Iowa State beat Washington State 67-56. North Carolina beat Michigan State 85-69. Alabama beat Grand Canyon 72-61. Clemson beat Baylor 72-64. Arizona beat Dayton 78-68. Houston beat Texas A&M in a late night thriller 100-95. Duke beat James Madison 93-55. NC State beat Oakland 79-73 in overtime. Marquette beat Colorado 81-77. Purdue beat Utah State 106-67. Gonzaga beat Kansas 89-68. Creighton beat Oregon 86-73, and Tennessee beat Texas 62-58. That is your round of 32. Now, a game that I want to highlight, or games. How many blowouts were there in the round of 32?
Okay.
A lot.
UConn. San Diego State. Duquesne and Illinois. I wouldn't consider the Washington State a blowout.
North Carolina game turned
North Carolina. Not Grand Canyon.
Purdue.
Purdue. That's a big one. Duke.
Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Creighton in overtime, but it still ended up being a blowout. So
and then Tennessee.
8. So half the games were blowouts.
8 blowouts.
So with half the games being blowouts, not a lot of basketball to keep my interest the last couple days. The close games, however, boy, were they good. Mm-hmm. You had Oakland going to overtime and sadly losing in overtime. You had Clemson beating Baylor with Baylor stumbling at the end. You had an overtime thriller with a buzzer beater between Houston and Texas A&M. Marquette squeezing away with the win against Colorado. You've got a lot of really close games. Tennessee beating Texas by 4. My favorite game's got to be Houston, Texas A&M last night.
Oh, no question.
The buzzer beater at the end of regulation off just a miraculous set of circumstances to get the ball to where the ball got to. That was meant to happen. And then Houston being a championship team and pulling out a win when they needed to. Sadly, I have Creighton going to my championship. I don't think they're beating Tennessee. No. And I had the Peacocks beating Tennessee. I had all my faith in the Peacocks, and they disappointed me as always. Tennessee, I think if I wasn't going for a random funny upset, I would have had Tennessee in my Final Four and perchance my championship. But, of course, all those points left in the dark. Well, hopefully Creighton can win. And if Creighton can win, I will be a happy lad. If Creighton loses, I will be sad and questioning my bracket.
Well, I'm the opposite because I want Tennessee to win because I have them going to my Final Four. I feel like the two games to look out for in the Sweet 16 are Creighton and Tennessee, and Iowa State and Illinois.
And we'll get to the we'll get to the Sweet 16 after the round of 60 or the round of 32.
All right.
I have it right in front of me, and I said 60.
My apologies for jumping the gun. Purdue, like I mentioned, if you try to pick them to lose, they win. When they pick them to win, they lose.
Yep.
I had them getting upset by Utah State.
As did I.
Unfortunately, that did not happen.
Nope.
I did not have Gonzaga going this far because I thought they were frauds. They're not. Sadly, I saw this conspiracy theory that Gonzaga is not a real school. If you watched Jimmy Kimmel a few years ago, he basically had a whole month of shows saying that Gonzaga wasn't a real school. I believed it. I don't believe it anymore. Grand Canyon, I did not expect them to get to this position. Foster is a heck of a player. A heck of a player, man. Like Grant Foster had 22 points. He was 6 from 13 from the three or from field goal range, and he was 8 from 14 from the free throw line. Dude's a baller. Watching the game, dude can ball.
Mm-hmm.
I was very underestimating Grand Canyon. Like I mentioned on Wednesday's show, lots of callbacks to Wednesday's show. I thought they were an online school.
You're thinking of Grand Canyon State.
Yes. Alabama had no chance against Charleston. Or they had a chance against Charleston. And then, obviously, I wasn't really surprised. I had Alabama go to my Sweet 16, which was great. Clemson, a team that everybody thought would lose in the round of 64. No, they're in the Sweet 16, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect this. I had Baylor to win. I had them going to my Final Four. And I'm very upset. However, it's good to see Clemson do Clemson things. Dayton also didn't stand a chance against Arizona. Caleb Love, best player in the country. Just kidding. I'm saying that to cope with Michigan. I'm not going to get another rant. No surprise about Houston. It was a very fun game, although I did not watch because I wanted sleep. A very fun game. I watched the highlights this morning. Houston's going to probably go all the way and probably get smacked by UConn in the national championship.
I think everybody's going to get smacked by UConn. They are a heck of a team.
They're playing like a number 1 overall seed. They're just going nuts.
Michael, what are your highlights of the round of 32 before we jump into the Sweet 16?
UConn wasn't much of a contest between Northwestern. They were up pretty high at halftime. Northwestern sort of battled back in the second half, but ultimately fell short. San Diego State, Yale, another blowout. I think a highlight for me is Colorado versus Marquette. I really, really thought Colorado was going to pull off another upset and make their bid to the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Marquette is a good team, though.
They're solid all around.
And they found ways to come back.
That's what you do when you're a championship team. You find ways. You see it from Houston. You saw it from Marquette. You saw it from Tennessee. You find ways to win. It's March Madness. Any team can win. You just need to escape with the win. It's not about rankings anymore. It's not about, are we going to fall in the AP poll? No, it's just about win the basketball game. Everybody got to the tournament for a reason. Everybody's a good team. Obviously, there are a lot of upsets, so everybody is a good team. That's known. That's especially nowadays with all of the AAU and all the training that all these kids are going through. Now they're starting to get to college. You're starting to see it. That's kind of, I was talking to Tyler about it. He was like, why are there so many upsets now? I feel like there weren't as many. Like, upsets used to be special. Now they're just kind of a thing. And I credit it to the AAU culture and everybody training from a very young age. All those kids that started doing that and grew up with that are in college now. Mm-hmm. They're all in college. So you're seeing all of this talent. It's got to go somewhere. So instead of just going to the Blue Bloods, there's a bunch of talent that would have made the Blue Bloods 10 years ago that now there's no room for them, so they go to these other schools. And these other schools are building teams with really good talent, and when you put them all in a neutral site playing pool, it's anybody's game. And I think that's what you can attest to the NCAA tournament being upset city right now, and it's so hard to predict. And that's why you're seeing like brackets that you were so confident in your bracket. Now your bracket's no bueno. It's poo-poo. It's bad, stinky, garbage, yuck.
Yeah.
That's everybody's bracket right now because nobody could have predicted all of these upsets unless you're Isaac and you just picked all the upsets. I legit think if you picked an all upset bracket, you'd have a better bracket right now than most folks that went off analytics and what they watched.
Mm-hmm. So I went off analytics.
Yep, as did I.
It's doing me fine because I'm still in second place. But in my other bracket league that I'm in with the people on my floor, I'm in fifth. So.
Tennessee, Texas was a really fun one, too.
Yes.
They kept it really, really close.
Yes.
Texas had a legit shot. Tennessee, good on them to just find, again, you talk about finding ways. You got to find a way in this tournament to move on. Tennessee, Creighton is going to be a fun game.
In Detroit as well, I looked at tickets. I will not be attending. Even though it's been my dream to go to an NCAA tournament game. Maybe I save up to go to Ford Field when the national championship is here.
When's that? Are they coming to Ford Field for the national when?
Yes, like 2027 or something.
Oh, like basketball or in football?
Basketball.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Final
yeah.
Four will be
nice.
So that'll be fun. But Detroit is hosting some Sweet 16 games. Let's hop into the Sweet 16, shall we?
All right.
So the Sweet 16 matchups, we've got UConn versus San Diego State, Illinois versus Iowa State, North Carolina versus Alabama, Clemson versus Arizona, Houston versus Duke, NC State and Marquette, Purdue and Gonzaga, and then the game of the round, Creighton, Tennessee. I just noticed ESPN put an ice cube next to my points. They gave me an ice cube.
What?
Oh,
look,
no.
They put an ice cube by my points. It's a little ice cube emoji.
Oh. I guess you could say ESPN, that's cold.
Yeah.
But
Thanks, Disney. I appreciate it.
Wow.
Thanks, Mickey Mouse.
Anyways, what
the
are we...
disrespect they got from my man Anthony over here.
I get my bracket's not doing too good, but nobody's is doing too good. Nobody's is doing
There's
that
zero
good.
perfect brackets left,
Right.
Disney.
We were
Cut
without
some
perfect
slack.
brackets
Goodness
at the beginning of
gracious.
the weekend.
I'm trusting a mouse with my bracket.
Yep, we did entrust a mouse with our bracket. Anyways, what are we looking forward to in the Sweet 16? I know Creighton and Tennessee is kind of the main attraction of the weekend coming up. What are some other games we're really looking at here?
I know you mentioned about Creighton and Tennessee, but I believe that Iowa State and Illinois will be game of the tournament.
That's going to be a good one.
That I will
will
be
be.
sitting down at 10:09 p.m. on a...
Is it 10:09?
10:09.
Why are they trying to kill us?
Jeez.
It's on
I can't keep
Thursday.
staying up till
We're
1
on
o'clock.
Thursday.
We're getting too old for this. I can't stay up for that.
I don't want to
I need
stay
to
up
be
till
in-
1 o'clock watching a basketball game.
I need to be in bed by... I like to be in bed by 10:30. I might have to stay past my bedtime. But Terrence Shannon Jr. and Gilbert are going to... That's going to be a dogfight. Terrence Shannon Jr., he's been shooting 81% from the free throw line and 48% from the field. Mm-hmm. He can shoot. For sure. But you know who they did lose to? I'm not going to get into that anymore. Sorry. But Iowa State, same guy, same thing. Gilbert, 73% from the field free throw line, 44% from the field. It's going to be a shootout battle.
Mm-hmm. Bloodbath.
A bloodbath. It's going to go shot for shot for shot for shot. And it's going to be between Gilbert and him. Yeah, I'm blanking on his name. I just said his name. Shannon. Terrence Shannon Jr. It's going to be a battle between those two. And that's what's going to make it fun. Obviously, there's more fun games in this tournament, like Creighton and Tennessee. I hope Tennessee wins. But
go Blue Jays.
I genuinely think this game's going to be fun.
It will.
And if it turns into a blowout, I'll be sad.
I have Creighton going to the Final Four. So I'm going to be rooting for the Blue Jays too, but Creighton, Tennessee is going to be a dogfight. Illinois, Iowa State's going to be a dogfight. I'm really intrigued to see what Gonzaga could potentially do against Purdue.
Yeah,
Purdue's going to the Sweet 16. And again, we talk about Purdue. They scored 106 points yesterday, but once again, the highest score on the team, Zach Edey. Yep. If Purdue does not have Zach Edey, and they put their backup in, like they put their backup big man, I think his name is Will Berg. He put him in late game because obviously they were up by a lot of points. Yes, he's only 2 inches shorter than Zach Edey, but I don't think he's explosive as Zach Edey. So, if Zach Edey comes out and you put a big man like Wilberg in, or just go a little smaller on the roster, which Matt Painter does, that opens the door for Gonzaga.
I think Gonzaga needs to eliminate Zach Edey. One thing we have not seen this tournament is the opposing team successfully eliminate Zach Edey. The first team that eliminates Zach Edey wins and beats Purdue. It's just a matter of who is going to do it, how are they going to do it, and if that strategy is going to be effective. I think one game a lot of people are sleeping on is Houston-Duke.
That'll be fun.
That's going to be a really good game. Duke's been on a roll. Houston, they just escaped with the win against Texas A&M. I think that's going to be a really good game as well, really close game. I don't see a blowout there. The only game I could really see a blowout is Connecticut and San Diego State. And maybe Arizona Clemson, maybe. But all these games should be good. There shouldn't be a bad game on the docket for the Sweet 16.
I would hope that UConn and San Diego State is going to be a closer game than I'm sort of envisioning right now, because UConn, they're playing with a vengeance right now.
Yes.
And San Diego State needs to be aware of that, which they are. They're a team that made it to the national championship last season. So they know what it's like to play championship teams.
Yes.
And they're playing against the defending champion right now.
Okay, really quickly, let's all review our Elite Eight in our bracket. It may not be what the Elite Eight is going to be, but let's just review what our picks were and then maybe who we'd want to see in the Elite Eight. So my Elite Eight is Connecticut, Illinois, Baylor, UNC, Houston, Kentucky, and then Creighton and Utah State. So I'm still kind of alive. I'm hanging in there in my Elite Eight, and that's when the importance start to matter. A game I'd really be looking out for is UConn, Illinois, if Illinois can beat Iowa State. And another game I'm really looking at here is the winner of Creighton, Tennessee versus the winner of Purdue, Gonzaga.
Ooh.
Those are two games I'm looking at for the Elite Eight. Obviously, we won't be on air for when the Elite Eight is found out and played through. But we can speculate, which is what we're going to do. So those are two games that I'm looking forward to.
So my Elite Eight is UConn and Illinois, Baylor and UNC, Tennessee and Utah State, and Houston and Kentucky. Yeah, my Elite Eight's dead. Especially in the Midwest region. I need Tennessee to win. I'm not really confident in Tennessee. I need them to win. I need UNC to win. I think I know for sure my East region is going to be okay. It's the other three. The other three regions. The South, the West, and the Midwest are not looking too hot. But at least my East region is alive, and like Anthony mentioned, the game that I'm looking forward to is UConn, Illinois, or UConn, Iowa State. Those games are going to be beyond fun, and I believe UConn will steamroll through until the national championship. I hope UConn win, or not UConn. I do hope they win, but I hope Houston wins. I hope Tennessee wins, and I hope UNC wins.
So for my Elite Eight, UConn, Illinois, Houston, and who I originally had Kentucky to go to the Elite Eight, but you obviously saw what happened against Oakland. Louisville fans, don't let us down now. Wear those shirts the next time you guys play against Kentucky. We're counting on you. What else do I have for my Elite Eight? Let's see. I have North Carolina, Arizona, and Creighton over... Gosh, where the heck is the other team?
McNeese?
You have Creighton beating...
Creighton over Tennessee, which is Sweet 16,
yes.
But did I really pick McNeese? I must be tripping.
Why does it say McNeese?
I don't know.
Did you pick McNeese?
No, I didn't. I think McNeese was just my original pick to move on. That's why it's saying that. So,
because you
Yes,
picked
that was
McNeese
your
over
original pick,
Samford.
Yeah.
yeah,
You're saying that was your pick, but the actuality is what's under it.
right.
All right.
So,
we figured it out.
All right.
so North Carolina, Arizona, and then it would be Purdue, Gonzaga, and then Creighton and Tennessee, the winner of those games.
All right. So that's the Elite Eight for what we can predict and cover of it as of right now. Sally, that's all we have for today's show. A little bit shorter of a show, but we've been putting out those longer shows, so shorter show was in due. Thank you for tuning in to Card Guys Season 2, Episode 18 on 101.1 The Beat, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Tune in Wednesday as we celebrate Tigers opening day, and we highlight the Red Wings against the Capitals, a big game. And hey, maybe the Pistons will win a game.
I don't think so.
We won't, but who knows? We beat the Knicks, we'll talk about them. For my good buddies, Ryan Donnelly and Michael Rosenkranz, I'm Anthony Schulte saying so long, everybody.
Love you, Mom and Dad and Claire. Hope you're having fun in Vegas without me.
Love you, Mom and Dad.